This is a national shame, and it is also dangerous. Each day of inaction in this area leads directly to the tragic loss of human life and further violence.
Indigenous women and girls condemn a lack of progress in carrying out recommendations from an inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. At a ceremony marking 3 years since the inquiries closed and 1 year since an action plan was released, a long list of more names of women and girls lost since the inquiry began.
In March of this year, 21-year-old Tatiana Janvey was found killed in Lac La Biche with no arrests were made. No charges were laid, and no answers have been given to the family. In April, 24-year-old Chelsea Poorman's remains were found in a wealthy Vancouver neighborhood after being missing for 2 years, with her mother stating that the police did not treat her initial disappearance with the necessary urgency. 3 weeks ago, an independent jury determined that 26-year-old Chantel Moore's death was a homicide 2 years after the police shot her during a wellness check.
Following the inquiry, the National Family and Survivors Circle helped draft an MMIWG action plan released last year. But the group says the government has been slow in implementing that plan. The Native Women's Association of Canada agrees, saying there's only been progress on about half of the action items.
There was a lot of talk, but about 30 action items. And of those 30, we only found progress on 16. So that's not very good for the Government of Canada. They have put forward some funding, but we can't seem to trace, has it actually been given out? How much of it is given out? Who is it being given out to? There's a very serious issue in terms of the monitoring.
One of the items was for just that, more monitoring, calling for a national Indigenous human rights ombudsperson that could represent families, survivors, and communities, and a national Indigenous human rights tribunal. Neither has been created, and Crown Indigenous Relations Minister Mark Miller admits that on this, his government dropped the ball.
There's no excuse for it. We really should have done it yesterday. We are working on it, and I hope to see progress within in my department sooner.
While Attorney General and Justice Minister David Lametti says he's been working with national Indigenous leadership groups like AFN and the Métis National Council on the Indigenous Human Rights Tribunal, but saying this all takes time.
Stripping away layers of colonialism takes time, I know, and we all want to have this done 150 years ago. I can only promise to do my best and keep pushing forward.
In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.